Alright, I'm going to do a quick information kind of video here. Only a few minutes actually, I hope. Problem with doing these things is I don't have a script, so if I lose my place or something, I'm going to sound like an idiot. Anyway, 5003, 5010 transmissions. Basically the same, but there are some differences, and these are two of them. The 5003 fits the 58 and 59 RJs, and the 5010 fits the Suburbans 1960 and the 61 401. The main difference in that is right here. This is the brake band, where the brake band mounts. On a 45 here, and this is the top part of the transmission, this would be the bottom. When it's on a 45 here, at the access hole where the brake shaft comes out, this is a 5010. If it sits here on a 90, that's a 5003 transmission and fits the RJ's 58 and 59. The difference that I'm going to get to today here with this is this hole. This is where the brake band shaft comes out. Alright, and in the RJ transmissions and in the early 60 Suburbans, you have a ball bearing here, and that would be this. It's an open bearing, and this is an S8K Timken bearing. And it fits 4, 5, 6 places in this transmission. The seal for this hole here then with the ball bearing in it is a 471643 Timken bear or seal. The difference is in the later 1960 and 61 transmissions that are the 5010 that fit the Suburbans and the 401. You have a ball bearing in, or a needle bearing in here. This hole's closed up and you have a needle bearing. Still fits the same stuff, and that's what I want to get into to show you. But if you pull apart a transmission and it's got the needle bearing in it, you want to replace that with a B1212, which is a Torrington bearing, needle bearing. The seal for that then would be a 7410 SKF. So you have those two options with what's going on. Both of these differential housing bull gears and brake shafts, 1144, 744, are going to fit either transmission. The point is that this comes in the later transmission and this comes in the earlier transmissions. The difference is the teeth. If you have this with bad gears and you want to replace this, you need to have one of these to fit this. And if you want to do the other one, you need this transmission or this housing and it fits this gear. You need this pair or this pair. They will interchange whether you have the ball bearing or the needle bearing, but you got to have both of these things. This is the early one. And if you look here, there's 31 teeth around here. And that would fit like that. If you've got a newer model, you're going to have this, which is 43 teeth, I think I counted. And this is a 744 gear, and it fits that. If you look, there's no way that this is going to work on this gear. No way that this is going to work on this gear. You got to have the pair. Other than that, it doesn't matter if you've got the needle bearing or the ball bearing side plate that goes on the transmission casting. Everything else is the same. The inner brass bushings are the same. The bearings are the same except for whether it's a ball bearing or a needle bearing. And all of the rest of the guts, the pinions, the shafts, everything, all the gears, the cluster gears, all of that stuff, input gear, all that stuff is the same in both transmissions, no matter what year it is or what time it was made in 1960. What happened was they were having a strength problem, and if you look right here, you're missing 3 teeth and they're pretty much ground down. They got rid of that and went to this 1144 tooth gear with this and the needle bearing to make that transmission stronger. Now in 1961 and then in 62 and everything, they went to the split transmission 5025s and got rid of these 3-piece transmissions all the way together. But this is the weak point, and the axle gears fit in here, and if you look at the other video that I got, you can see that, and either the axle gear loses teeth or the bull gear itself, and this all comes in one piece. You have your bull gear plus the differential housing in these particular transmissions. In the 5025 and up, it comes apart. You can change the bull gear out and still keep the housing and that kind of stuff. All right, so that's what I wanted to show you guys, and that's how that works. In this particular case, this broke. I checked around on the site. Nobody else had another one of these, but Joe Papke had a set of these. But I needed both of them. I just couldn't get this to go with this. It wouldn't work. It won't work. So that's the difference. And this came up a little while ago. Somebody opened up one of their transmissions and it had the ball bearing or the needle bearing in it. Where this brake shaft comes out had the needle bearing and the seal. And when you look at the manual, unless you see that page, you miss that part of it. But that's what's going on. So again, you got the B1212 for the needle bearing with a 7410 seal, or you can do the S8K with the 741643 Timken bearing and seal. And that's this bearing right here, so yeah. Pretty easy, but that's what happened with these things, and you got to know what you got when you tear it apart before you order parts. And again, these will interchange whether you have the needle bearing or the ball bearing style in the side plate. The other bottom part of the bearing is this. It's just the needle bearing or the ball bearing that fits on the shaft coming out. And it's a strength issue, but that's what's going on. Okay, I wanted to show you guys that, and basically that's all there is. And again, any questions? Nope. Seeing no hands. Name of the game. All right, thanks. Thanks for looking.